LSU's got a big day coming up tomorrow. You could have as many as 25, 27 players sign with the Tigers tomorrow. There are some that are thought of as a little bit of a question mark at this point, and some that are just simply uncommitted anywhere, and you're just looking around. As far as the high school guys go, Isaac Smith is probably the biggest name to keep an eye on tomorrow. He is the big safety prospect from the state of Mississippi. If you heard Billy this morning on Off the Bench, if you heard Mike Scarborough earlier on Handy Time, if you heard either one of them, things seem to be in a pretty good spot with LSU and Isaac Smith. Now, it is very difficult to get kids out of their home state. And Isaac Smith is a Mississippi kid, and Mississippi State wants him very, very badly. If you look at the top of the state of the Mississippi in the rankings, Ole Miss has 3 of them. One is headed out to Oregon. So of the top players in the state, Isaac Smith's really the last one that Mississippi State's got a shot with. Now, Zach Arnett is new as the head coach there. Obviously, this is a huge priority for him to pull in one of the best defenders in the state, one of the best players in the state. But LSU has put a full court press on there, and we'll see if he becomes a member of this LSU signing class and what's going to be a class that's just got huge numbers in the secondary, which they need because they don't have enough secondary players. And LSU, one way or another, is going to be playing a lot of new guys in the secondary, and I think there's a good chance that a good number of them are going to be freshmen from this class. We'll see if Isaac Smith is one of them. Desmond Ricks is the biggest name. I talked about him yesterday, and I just got done with a segment telling you about how I'm not going to get all caught up 365 days a year with social media posts. But if you follow Desmond Ricks on Instagram, you saw a picture yesterday of him sitting in the south upper of Tiger Stadium in full LSU uniform. That was the only picture that he posted yesterday. Now, he had on a jersey that looked a helmet that looked to be two-toned. He had on the white jersey and the white pants. I didn't love the look, quite frankly, but I'll take him in this class. Says the 97-year-old Hunt Palmer. But yeah, I'm not gonna try to decipher what the 18-year-old thinking posting on Instagram. Is he thinking, oh man, I'm gonna pull a fast one. I'm going to Florida, but I'm gonna put this LSU picture out, generate some buzz, and then man, I'm gonna pull the switcheroo, just like I pull the hat and then throw it out, skydive out of a plane, pull out a bulldog out of a bag. I can't. That's beyond where I'm going to go in my recruiting interest. But Desmond Ricks is not going to announce tomorrow, so don't hold your breath. He will be the following day, it appears, a Thursday announcement from Desmond Ricks. As far as other potential commitments to LSU, I don't know. There's no time frame on the transfer guys. They're in the portal. They can make their commitment. They've just got to enroll in school. They don't have the parameters around signing letters of intent. They can just make their next move. So could be tomorrow when everybody's jumping in the mix. It could be down the road in January when guys decide what they're going to do. But I mentioned by name yesterday Paris Shand and Jalen Swinson, a couple of defensive linemen from the Pac-12, Shand, an Arizona product, and Swinson, an Oregon product. I said yesterday, and this is based on a lot of information from guys that do recruiting far deeper than I do, LSU's in a great spot for Jalen Swinson. It would be a big surprise if he didn't end up as a Tiger. And Shand is a little more difficult to get a read on because there's no geographical pull here. He's visited Rutgers. He's played at Arizona. He likes LSU. He's been to a visit for Ole Miss. He's all over the place, and he's got Canadian roots. So there's no rhyme or reason as to why. As I mentioned yesterday, this is not Jarrett Bernard Converse coming home. It's not Greg Books or Joe Fouché coming home. It's a guy who just wants to find the right spot. And LSU's made a significant impact there. So that's a very, very good thing as far as the Tigers go. The one hang up here that you're thinking potentially may not end up in this class for LSU has been pretty consistent across the board with everyone. And again, it's not something that I'm going to spend a ton of time dealing with because just let me know when the ink dries. That's kind of the way that I go about it. But it is in the secondary. and it is with Dalen Austin. He's from California, big time commitment, a guy that LSU would really, really like to have in this class. Notice, I very rarely going to put must have. You don't must have anybody. It's good if you get them. You're still going to fill out a roster if you don't. And I don't know that Dalen Austin is going to be the difference between LSU winning 3 national titles and trying to cling its way into the Texas Bowl. But he's been looking out elsewhere on the West Coast, maybe potentially Oregon. Not going to get too deep into the weeds on it, but you should keep an eye out for that as of tomorrow, and we'll keep you posted on this for sure. There's been some back and forth on whether or not Jalen Lee, the Live Oak product, is a guy that LSU should take. He has not necessarily set the world on fire in Gainesville, but he's a Louisiana product. He's in the transfer portal. I'd take him every day and twice on Sunday because you need bodies at defensive tackle. You can't send 2 guys out there to continue to play as many snaps as LSU asked its defensive tackles to play in this game. So I will let Billy Embody, Shea Dixon, Chad Simmons, Mike Scarborough, Glenn West, Sonny Shipp, the whole lot of guys chase this whole thing around for the next 15, 18, 24, 20, 30 hours. I'll just kind of relay kind of what I've seen and what I've heard. But I will tell you that the guys at On3, I've been a part of that website now for a couple of months. I'm going to do some baseball stuff with them. And I've been seeing what they've put out. They've got $1 a month, right? $1 for the year. Right now, there is a remarkable amount of information that these recruiting guys put out. It's not a job that I want necessarily. Working the phones, text messaging 17-year-olds, trying to get them to give you a good, straight answer. People being coy, wanting to have their moment, all that kind of stuff. But these guys are great at it. LSU's got some really, really good guys in the market that cover it. And certainly you can find that across the internet, but I love my guys over there at On3, where they've kind of welcomed me into their family. So that'll be kind of my my take on recruiting as it is entering tomorrow. Hey, thanks so much for watching the Hunt Palmer Show on YouTube. If you don't mind, throw us a like right below and hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time.